Hello! Do you often feel not good enough? Do you always have imposter syndrome? If the answer is yes, or even half of a yes, this video is a must watch for you. So stay till the end. This is I Ching. I am a weirdly funny nerd who helps people, especially high achievers, transcend their childhood trauma through humor. Okay, I might not even try to be funny in this video, but I do want to talk about how to tackle this issue of feeling not good enough. All right, tip number 1 is understand the difference between feeling versus deciding. This is the most important thing. Because a decision, if you choose something, it's a commitment. There is a commitment. For example, if you book a flight at 5 a.m. and you know you need to catch that flight to go somewhere that you need to go or you want to go, be it for work or vacation, you are going to be there. You're going to catch that flight. You're not going to tell yourself, I don't feel like waking up early or no, right? We've all done that. It's because it's a decision. It's a choice. We've already decided it is going to happen. So it's the same thing. If you feel not good enough, remember, you need to choose, you need to decide that you are good enough. Now, you also need to decide how much is enough for you, right? It might not be the same for everybody. But for me, if I want to do something and I don't feel I'm good enough, for me, enough means that I choose to put myself out there and do the best I can. That's it. And do the best that I can on that day. Because some days you're gonna hit 99%. Some days you're only gonna hit 67%. Even if it's a 67%, I'm still gonna choose to do it. Now, if it's a 27%, I'm feeling sick, I'm feeling not feeling well, that's a different story. Then you need to decide not to do this thing because you have to prioritize your well-being. But if you are on a 70% day, you choose and decide that that is the level of commitment and action and energy and whatever that you put out because you're at 70%. When you're at 90%, then it's a different level. So it is a daily decision of deciding that you are exactly enough just based on that day and do the best you can on that day. Okay? Do not compare your good days with your bad days. Everybody has good days and bad days. Now, the thing is, when you are really good at deciding, you are going to have more good days than bad days. And you're only going to have more and more good days. Because guess what? This is my point number 2, is that you gotta let your action fuel your feelings. You can't sit around and feeling bad for yourself, right? We've all been there. You probably have bouts of depression episodes too. I've been that. And I might encounter episodes of depression at whichever given moment. It's just part of being human. We all have those things. But what I mean by let your action fuel your feelings is that when you make the decision that I need to take some actions today and they need to be done today because they are the most important things, whether they've been, it's like job performance, whatever, the most difficult things, or sometimes it's really just tasks that you've been wanting to do, but you've been putting on hold for a while. Whatever that is, you decide to take that action. Decide that your level, if it's a 75%, you go at that, right? Don't make yourself pass out because you try too hard, right? That would not be wise. But go at your best and let your action fuel your feelings, because guess what? After that, you are going to feel proud of yourself. Once you start feeling proud of yourself, that emotion of not feeling enough, not good enough, is going to go away. And when you can do that on a daily basis, do your best every day based on that day, on your energy level, you are not going to feel not good enough. And again, here's the thing. Once you try this, you build momentum, okay? And guess what? you are going to feel better, because this is a decision that goes into pretty much all decisions in your life. Are you drinking too much? If that doesn't make you feel good, you need to cut it out, because that does not align with what you want to do, how you want to feel, right? If every time you drink, you feel only 50% the next day, then you need to quit drinking, at least not drink as much. Right? Same thing. If you are not eating well, if you've been eating too many takeouts, and you get the idea. That energy level is something that you have some sort of control over. Also, your mindset, right? Are you just catastrophizing your future? Are you thinking about the worst scenario? You are just in a downward spiral, whatever that is going to decrease your energy level, and that will make you feel not good enough, not because you are not good enough, but because of these things that chip away your good feelings, right? So then you know that, okay, if I keep showing up at 50% for a whole week, how can I make yourself show up at least 70 to 80% next week? What changes do I need to make for me to achieve that level? And we talk about performance, right? So those are the things that are actually within your control. And once you start taking actions to A, do important and difficult things, and B, prioritize or optimize your system so that you can continue to do important and difficult things, you are truly unstoppable. Okay? And then number 3 is identify fear versus joy. Ooh, this is such a juicy topic. I actually have a video on that. The link is here, okay? Check that out. But when I say identify fear versus joy, is that a lot of times joy actually hides behind fear. It's really that barrier that you need to go across. Once you cross that barrier, it's pure joy. Think about creativity, think about writing, think about running a marathon, think about, for me recently, it's like swimming, right? I've been training for swimming, and every time I get better, I'm like, ooh, at first I was so scared, and then I get better, and then it's just pure joy. A lot of dopamine, seriously. So you want to identify that, and you want to start making decisions, right? Coming back to our first point is making decisions, decide. You need to decide whether you're guided by fear or joy. Joy is that emotion that expands you, that makes you feel free, that makes you feel generous, makes you feel alive. That's joy. And joy is not about happiness, okay? Joy is about feeling alive. There's that aliveness, even when you fall, even when you have, even when things are not going your way. Joy comes from living the present moment and knowing that you've given it all, and there is no regret. When you have the level of, there is no regret, joy follows. Even if you don't win, even if there is a major setback, you don't get the promotion, you have a heartbreak, whatever that is. But joy comes from empowerment. Okay, so follow what expands you, what frees you, what makes you feel bigger and lighter and untethered. That's the feeling. Now, fear feels a lot in your head, right? It's like too many thoughts. When you feel that you have too many thoughts, that there's fear somewhere. When you feel that you have a restricted feeling in your body, there's fear somewhere. When you feel empty, there's some sort of fear, or a lot of negative emotions telling yourself that you're not good enough. That's really what causes the emptiness, is a lack of self-validation. And the reason you lack self-validation is because you don't think you're good enough, because you let whatever obstacle become bigger than you. Okay? So you need to identify that. And honestly, how you identify it, like I said, follow your bodies, follow your feelings. Not follow your feelings, but I take it back. Follow your bodies, Follow your feelings, but also understanding, is it coming from your values or coming from fear? Okay, whenever you choose values, even when it's difficult, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's inconvenient, that's the right way to go. And that builds character. And character really is anything and everything for your success and fulfillment in life. So that is that. And those are the 3 points. I am going to recap it for you. Number 1 is to decide not to just feel. Decision is non-negotiable. Feelings, you can create that. And that's number 2, is you let your action fuel your feelings. You have to think about what feels, how you feel after taking that action, not before. Okay, that's the deciding factor. Once you do that, when you feel better doing that, that's the right thing to do. And number 3 is identify fear versus joy. How you do that is to know in your body what expands you, what frees you, what makes you feel at peace. Remember, fear does not give you peace, okay? When you are scared, you do not have peace. Peace only comes from choosing what's higher, what's beyond fear, following joy, the present moment, following humanities, empathy, kindness, compassion, all those values. That's when you have peace. So choose between fear versus joy and peace, right? Regardless of how difficult it is, if you can consistently show up for your joy, show up for your peace, you're on the right track. And that's how you build a fulfilling, happy life that you won't have any regrets later in your life. All right, I hope that helps you. And again, this is I Ching. Thank you so much for watching. I will have other funny videos, I hope. And you know, even if not on this channel, I definitely will have another channel set up for my comedy. But if you like this video, if you find my content even just a little bit of helpful for you, I guess, at this point, please subscribe, please like, share, comment. You know, I respond to every comment that I have. And stay tuned. I am writing a book, okay? And stay tuned for that book. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you next week. All right, bye. Mwah.